What up? What up, my guys? Bro, I'm fucking tripping, bro. Man, I overslept like a motherfucker. Man. Hey, good thing Ronald texted me, man, because he's like, "Hey, you good, bro?" It's like, bro, I just woke up, man. I had to wake up at like 6 a.m. And then I went back to sleep. Damn, bro. I'm sorry, guys. I know sometimes I'll be late and shit, but I'm never that fucking late, man. But I'm here. Y'all know 1 p.m. Eastern every single day, man. Unless something wrong or some I'll be here. You see what I'm saying? Damn, I'm truly sorry, man. It's a good thing for Ronald, man. Shout out to Ronald. He texted me. He's like, hey, can I come on the show? And then he texts me again. It's like, hey, you good, bro? It's like, yeah, bro, I'm cool. It's like, oh, he said everybody looking for you on the show. I'm like, oh shit. I fucking I fucking tripped out, bro. Oh damn, I got some good ass sleep though, boy. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. You gotta get your rest, man. But Ronald finna come on here, man. I got some plays, man, that I'm liking. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to Ronald, man. I'm telling you, I would have, man. I'm telling you, I would have been tripped out, man. But let me just update some shit here real quick. Hopefully, my guy Run the Dawn coming real quick. Oh boy, I'm in here fucking hibernating, boy. You hear what I'm saying, boy? Say like a damn a bear or something off in this motherfucker, but I'm in here sleeping hard, man. Yeah, but we're gonna get to it, man. There's actually some really great plays on the card today, man. There's some sharp versus square spots, all type of shit, man. Let's get to it, man. What's up, Ronald? Hey, shout out to Ronald, man.
I was like, hey, I'm not usually early, but I know you're not late because you're always about your business. So I was just like,
Yeah,
something's got to
man.
be going on.
Bro, I'm talking about I'm
That's
in
a
there
joke.
thing sleeping so good, boy. I'm talking about dreaming, scheming, all that. What's up with you, my brother? Hey, we here, man. We here. What's up with you, my brother? Everything cool
Yeah,
with you?
everything's good, man. Everything's been going well, especially in the NBA. So hopefully we just keep catching tickets. Yeah, I can't complain, man. Can't complain. I know you've been on a hot run. I'm not always catching the lives, but I catch your replays. I always gotta support the guys with their shows and all that stuff. So I catch
Appreciate
your
you.
replays. I know you're on a heater. I know you've been doing well.
Yeah, yeah, everything been going well, man. I was probably cashing a ton for over. I don't like to talk about it to be honest with you, Ron. I just kind of keep going, but I was doing real good for like 2 months, and then I had 3 days. I had lost like 25,000, bro, in 3 days. I had got smoked.
It
So,
happens.
um,
It happens.
but since then, starting to bounce back. But let's keep this shit going. Let's get it going today, man. It's all business here on the show, man. Let's go over to the streets of Washington D.C. in this one, man. Wizards getting 7.5 at the house versus the Utah Jazz in this one. Wizards just fired their coach, man. We just got another. Oh, he didn't fire the coach. He stepped down as
You
the
step
coach. You
down,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But let's be real. They fired his ass and just said that. It just said we're gonna give you another job, but you ain't coaching this team no more. You've been absolutely ass. And it's just crazy because the Wizards don't have a bad squad. I mean, we saw that I think it was like a 30% like over the last 2.5 years, man. So you might get that fired coach change. Now we know the Wizards are tanking. Jazz have somewhat come back down to earth. They just got their ass smacked versus the Pelicans. What do you think happens in this game? Do you think the Jazz deserve to be laying 7.5 points on the road here, Ronald?
Man, this is a tough number. I mean, we just saw the Wizards against the Wolves yesterday, and what was it, 11, 10 and a half, 11. And I feel like the Wolves are a little bit better than the Jazz here as far as the number goes. But I think the reason why is probably because the Wizards are on the second leg of back-to-back games. We know the Jazz have been playing really well. They've been, man, their offense has really been clicking. I know they're on the third of a 6-game road trip. But if you look at their team total, they've gone over their team total in 20 of the last 23 games. I think overall their offense since they gotten healthy, man,
Mm-hmm.
it's like yeah, I think Ski mentioned it, but they were, or maybe it might have been you, but they're one of those teams that were losing just because they were dealing with injuries. But once they got fully healthy, you start to see everything come together. If I look at the second leg of back-to-back games as well, they've been covering those spots, 5-1 ATS if their opponent is on the second leg of back-to-back games. 5-1 to the under as well, so they're playing solid defense in that spot. But for the most part, I think it's more so that their offense continues to click here, especially against a Wizards team that hasn't been doing too well on the defensive side of the ball. I look at them on the second leg of back-to-back games; they haven't won a game yet. 6-1 to the under as well, so their offense is struggling in that spot. So for me, I can either look towards the Jazz here or the Jazz team total over.
Okay, yeah, and I did a show with my guy, did a podcast, Action Network podcast with my guy Sean Little. He's on Jazz Team Total over here,
Yeah, that makes
Ronald,
sense.
as well, over 124.5. Shout out to my guy Ty in the chat, man. Ronald, that's the same guy we was kicking it with in Vegas. He said,
Yeah, he
y'all
hit me
boys
too on
split
my
that.
head. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
hit
said
me
y'all
too on my
boys
show
split that.
too.
Thanks for yesterday. Let's keep it rolling. So I appreciate that, Ty. I'm gonna send Ronald half of that, man. That's my guy Ty there, right here in Denver, man. But yeah, he's like in the over 124.5 team total here for the Jazz.
Mhm.
And it makes sense. If they can score 124 versus the Pelicans, why can't they do it versus the Jazz in this spot? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, why can't they do it
The
versus the
Wizards.
Wizards here? So I don't know, man. I lean towards the Wizards here, plus the points. This is not a game that I fucking care about whatsoever. I think it's stronger spots. When I wake up and see that they got to have a new coach, we know that they gives a new sense of energy to the team every
Hmm.
single time. Obviously, I mean, the Wizards are ass. We know this, but they were keeping it close versus the Wolves there for a little bit yesterday. It's a back-to-back, but they didn't have to travel anywhere. But it's just
Yep.
something that I've learned. Like when you fire, when the coach is fired or is a coaching change or something like that, you always it's either I just look at, I'm not gonna say you always, but I look at that team or I stay off the game. It's that simple. So
Same thing happened to the Bucks, right? I mean,
yeah, no,
did you see? I
I
mean,
came
how
on here
they
and
came
told
out
them
that game?
yesterday.
That was crazy. Yeah.
I came on here and told them yesterday. It looked easy to take the Cavs plus the 7, man. Team on an 8-game win streak and they're getting 7 points. I said Bucks probably come out here and catch a trifecta. That's exactly what they fucking did, man. But
Hmm.
yeah, I heavily lean. This game could go over, but I lean towards the Wizards here plus the 7.5. That's what I do. I'd be leaning towards the Wiz kids in this one. Let's get over to the streets of Indianapolis in this one, where the All-Star game is going to be this year. Pacers getting 5 at the house versus the Philadelphia 76ers. We got a bunch of home dogs today, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a home dog in every game except for the last game, man. And you know what? I damn near lean towards every fucking home dog. But I like the Pacers here, Ronald, plus a 5, man. I don't know. I talked about this game last night. I know that the Pacers don't have Halliburton, but this is a scrappy
Hmm.
team. You got the Sixers coming off of a game where Joel Embiid scores 70 points. And Ronald, if I score 70 in the game, an NBA game, I'm going out and celebrate after that game. Now they had 2 days off, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But let's go hit the club. Let's go rent out a club. Bring the ladies. Let's drink it up. You see what I'm saying? Let's have some fun. That's what I would do if I went. If I broke the franchise record for most points in a game. I'm going out and party a little bit. Now, I don't know if they did for sure. There's another team that I know went in party. If people watched the last night's show, I ain't gonna put the business out there like that. But what do you think? Do you think the Sixers might have a little bit of a letdown game here coming off the 70-point game, a game where they didn't cover versus San Antonio Spurs? What do you think happens in this game?
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense to me. Pretty much a letdown there. You seen what happened with Cat. Obviously, they won the game, but you seen how big of a difference the impact was, right? The defenses are going to come in and attack you basically, and let
Mm-hmm.
other players try to win that game. But they do have guys like Maxi and stuff like that. They're also dealing with a bunch of injuries as well, though.
Mm-hmm.
I seen Tobias Harris didn't go through shoot around this morning. There's a few other guys like Melton, and Melton is out as well. Pacers, other than Hallie, is pretty healthy. I know Jalen Smith is like a key second unit guy, but he's questionable. To me, there's just a lot of mixed signals on this one. I mean, the Pacers. I looked at the Pacers on the first leg of back-to-back games. They do have a game tomorrow, but they have been
Mm-hmm.
covering in the spot 7-1 ATS so far this season. And then you look at the Sixers side. They failed to cover the last two, and then this is the start of a long 5-game road trip. So to me, it could be a situation where they start off the road trip, sort of like managing minutes to make sure that they have enough energy
Mm-hmm.
for the full road trip. So this is a spot that the Pacers can probably try and take advantage of. For me, I'm not going to be on it though. There's just, like I said, too many mixed signals for me on this one.
Yeah, first game of a 5-game road trip for the Sixers in this one. Obviously, they fly out to Denver after this game as well. So I don't know if they're looking ahead versus the Nuggets. Now, obviously, that's the defending champs here, but the Sixers have been balling, man. It's a couple ways that you can look at it. Obviously, the Sixers are the better team, especially with Noah Halliburton out there. They've won 6 straight games, but those 6 were versus every single game other than the Denver Nuggets was versus bottom feeders, and the Kings aren't really a bottom feeder. I was on the Sixers in that game. They didn't have Joel Embiid, and and they went out there and smacked the Kings. But other than that, the Rockets, the Magic aren't a bottom feeder. Magic, the Hornets, the Spurs. You see what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I just feel like this Pacers team, they're on the brink of breaking out. They finally got a practice day yesterday. If you guys that follow the teams closely and look at their practice interviews, their post game interviews. The Pacers have lost 5 of the last 6 games. They're somewhat reeling. They need a confidence boost and win. They need a big
Mhm.
win. Siakam was their first. It was their first time to really get time to practice yesterday and get him integrated to the system. We know that they're 0-3 straight up and against the spread with Siakam over there. I think that they make it 1-3 against the spread. I don't give a damn if they lose this game by 1-3 or 1-4 points. I think they
Mhm.
keep this game close, just like they did versus the Denver Nuggets as well. And I'm kind of in the middle. Like I do feel like the Pacers first half and full game is a better spot because the Sixers coming in this game a little bit sleepwalking. It's probably going to be in the first half. The Pacers led the Nuggets by 8 at the first half. Then they got smacked in the third quarter and came back in the fourth quarter. I could see the same type of carbon copy of that game happen in this one. I think Pacers first half and full game is the right spots in this particular game. I just feel like when somebody goes off for 70, you can't help but go out and celebrate after that shit. Like that's a monumental defeat right there. It's not everybody not just going to the house like nothing just happened. You see what I'm saying? We're
Mhm.
going to have at least a little bit of fun. You see what I'm saying? But heavily lean towards Pacers in the first half and in the full game. Personally, I'll probably be sprinkling some on the Pacers here. I'll tell you that right now, man.
Yeah,
Let's
the
go.
Pacers first half makes a lot of sense, Jay. Just
Yeah,
because obviously the second half could be a little bit different depending on what the result is in the first half. But if they're up at first half, it could be also an under type game in the second half as well as they try to like keep the pace a little bit slower, reserve some energy for tomorrow. Also, the
yeah.
Sixers, like I said, beginning of that road trip too. So I think it's more of a minutes management type thing in the second half, especially if the Pacers are up.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. That's a fact. What did he say? I'm a Pacers fan and should have known this. So they have a tough back to back. Yeah, when you've been losing, you can't look ahead to a bounce to about back to back. You got to go all out for the win that you got. Like if they're up or if they're in the game, you can't just look ahead to the next day. You got to say, let's end this fucking losing streak right now. They've lost 5 of the last 6, and they're trying to really make the playoffs this year. This is a huge game for the Pacers. And they got this is an Eastern Conference team. They got a Western Conference team on day tomorrow. This game means a whole lot more than that one versus the Suns, my guys.
Mhm.
Let's head over here to the streets of Miami here. The Heat getting 8 at the house. It's crazy, man. So I don't know if we've ever seen a 6-game slate, 7-game slate, and 6 of the 7 teams are home dogs here, Ronald. And I think them dogs gonna be fucking barking tonight. You see what I'm saying? Heat getting 8 at the house versus the Boston Celtics. We know that the Heat. Now, Ronald, you do the SDQL. Something tells me that teams perform really well coming off a loss where they laid double digits and lost the game outright. I don't care if they're a dog or if they're a favorite. Some tells me that they do really well in that particular spot. And I said on yesterday's show, the Heat were probably looking ahead to this game. You playing the Grizzlies, you see what I'm saying? And then you got the Celtics on deck tomorrow. Which team, and Rozier used to play for his team as well. Which team you probably think they're getting up more for? It's the Miami Heat. I watched that game yesterday. Through 3 quarters, they didn't give a damn about that game. I'm talking about they didn't they literally gave no shits about that game. Rozier had a horrible game. Some tells me the Heat come and ball out today. Nobody's gonna want them. They just saw them losing to the Memphis Grizzlies. I think that we know that the Heat match up well versus the Celtics. They always play them tough. I know that the Celtics have the rest advantage and they have playoff revenge still as well from getting kicked out of the playoffs versus the Heat last year. I still think the Heat come to play today, and they don't even have to win the game. All they got to do is keep this shit close. I think the Heat come to play from start to finish in this one, Ronald. What do you think? I think I heavily lean towards Heat in the first half and in the full game in this game.
Yeah, what you mentioned is something that I do look at. Obviously, if you're a favorite and you lost as a double digit favorite at the previous game, the next game you typically bounce back. That's what I used yesterday as well in some of my plays. It's something that I continue to look at. And so far this season, if you look at that just specifically, 6-3, 6-3-1 for the team that lost as a favorite. The only issue to me is they're on the second leg of back-to-back games. That's one of the other losses that ended up happening. That's the reason why. I mean, to me, another piece of it, the reason why I would look away from the Heat is just because Triple J, Jaime Jaquez is going to be out again, and their
Mm,
offense really has not been great since he's been out. I think they've gone under their team total every single game that he hasn't played in. I think they only went over 100 points just once as well. If this is a game that the Heat cover, it should probably be an under type game in my opinion. one way that I was looking at it was the Heat team total under. They could end up covering or not covering, but at the same time, I just know that their offense really struggles without him. Obviously, Rozier brings a little bit of a different aspect to it because this is only his second game with the squad, and I know he got brought in because of his offense. So at some point, that's going to shift even with Jaquez out. I'm just not too sure that's going to be today, especially with how the Celtics are, more rested. They are a little bit healthier. But yeah, to me, what you mentioned earlier, that is definitely one of the looks that I continue to look at. Is just one thing that paused is the second leg of back to back games, and also their roster movement in the last few weeks. Injuries and then trades. So that's the only reason why I stayed off of the Heat on this one.
Yeah, the Celtics aren't really just great laying points on the road. 8-11-2 against the spread. I'd like to see how much it is like when it's over 7 points. The Heat have been playing like ass, guys. I'm telling you that. But as I always say, man, no team as good as you see them play, and no team as bad as you see them play. So everybody's gonna take the Celtics here. Don't let me talk you off. Obviously, they're the better team. Like I tell y'all straight up, the Celtics are the better team, guys. But I'm just telling you, they are fun. The members that watched the show last night know. You see what I'm saying? There's just I'm not gonna put their business out there like that, but the people that watched the show last night, they know, my guys. I mean, I do have a little bit of info on this game. It's not that it's like guaranteed, but I could only look towards Heat here. I hadn't bet it yet. I'm gonna probably wait till it goes up. I hope this shit touch 10. Please, everybody, go bet the Celtics. It looks easy, and I can't tell you the Heat also been ass ever since the coach got. I don't even know if it's just Jaquez. Ever since the coach got that extension, Ronald, they've been playing like ass. They've lost 4 straight games. They're 0-4 against the spread last 4. They should have lost 5 straight because they should have lost versus the Brooklyn Nets. I don't care. This is just a matchup that I think that they match up well versus Celtics, and I don't think the Celtics come out here and play their best game here. So they do have revenge, but Ronald, they've had a couple days off in Miami. That's never a recipe for success out there. It's never a recipe for success. I live in Boston. I got a couple days off in Miami. Let's go have some fun, man. But I think the Heat come out here first half and full game. I think they actually come to play today. I think Jimmy Butler's going to be out there foul baiting like he always does.
Man,
he always – I hate
yeah.
that shit, bro. More than 50% of his shots, of his points come from the free throw line. They didn't care about last night's game. I think they were looking ahead to this one. Terry Rozier's second game here. I feel like the Heat are the play in this game, guys. So it's not something that I bet yet. I have one top play on the card that I have bet, but I heavily lean towards Heat in the first half and in the full game. I truly believe that they're the right side here. Let's go over here to another home dog here. Knicks plus 2.5, top play of the day for me. Another home dog here going up against the Nuggets. Last game of a 5-game road trip here for the Nuggets. They've only had one other 5-game road trip so far this year. What did they do? And on this same number, they were laying 2.5 versus the Houston Rockets. Got blown out of the water by 19 points. I'm not saying they're going to get blown out of the water here, but last game of a 5-game East Coast road trip, got a revenge game coming up versus the Philadelphia 76ers. This is a game that speaks to my soul. I like the Knicks in this game. The Knickerbockers, pull them shits up, pull your pants up right below the calves. You see what I'm saying? Turn them into to the Knickerbockers. But I'm on the Knicks here, plus 2.5. I also think it's worth a little J Money sprinkle here. Knicks plus 2.5, top player today, Ronald. Could you talk me off?
I can't. I actually took this game as well last night. Not on the spread though. What I did was actually fade the Nuggets. I took their team total under 113.5 last night. I think it's come down a point from since then. The total has come down. But for me, I was leaning both the Knicks and the under, so I ended up just combining them. We talk about, me and Ski talk about that. When you see kind of those two things together, kind of focusing on more so on the team total. So that's what ended up what I did last night. If you look at the Nuggets side, last of a tough Eastern Conference road trip that they just had, and on the road so far this season, they struggled to cover the spread. They've also stayed under their team total in the last 3 games straight. So you can tell that the travel fatigue is starting to hit them on the offensive side of the ball. Then, like you mentioned, right, they got that rivalry matchup against the Sixers on deck at home. On the Knicks side, dude, January for the Knicks has been like amazing for them, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Ever since they picked up OG, opponents are 11-1 to their team total under. I believe I think only one team has scored over 110 during that span. Opponents averaging just 101.1 points per game in that span. I think even before the trade too, this situation here for the Knicks, they were a solid ATS and under team. At home versus non-conference teams. I think only one of those situations were during this period with OG. The rest were without him, and they still went under So I think that's kind of the situation that I'm looking at today. I think the Nuggets struggle to score. Knicks continue their defense. Definitely lean towards the Knicks spread and the under. So, like I said, I took the team total under a little bit heavier last night.
That sounds like a recipe for success right there, man. Because I also know that the Knicks are going to bring the defense in this one. Now, the Nuggets are definitely the much better offensive team, but I think the Knicks are are balanced, in my opinion. Like as far as defense, they can bring the defense to match up with the Nuggets offense, but they also have enough offense to get this job done as well. They're coming off a confidence boosting win. Like when you come off a game and you know that your ass shouldn't have won, that's something that I was thinking about last night that I didn't even say on last night's show. That it like gives you even more confidence. They should have lost that game versus the Nets. I was telling people if you took the Knicks versus the Nets, go buy a lottery ticket. That's one of the luckiest covers my ever seen. But I mean, it happens, and I hate the bookies. So I hope the bookies. I know that 90% of money was on the Knicks that game. I hope the bookies got their ass smashed in that fucking game. Now, how about that? Now take that now. But they were super lucky to win that game. But it just kind of give you confidence when you've been down the whole game, losing 3.5 quarters, and then you come back and win and you cover the spread. That just gives you even more confidence to rolling into this game. I think they bring that confidence into this game. Knicks at the house, home dog. Nuggets have been winning on this road trip as well, but the Nuggets, fourth worst team in the NBA at land points on the road. This team is 6-12-1 when land points on the road. I think they make it 6-13 tonight. I like the Knicks. I think they win this game outright. I think they keep it going. Guys, like I think these are the type of teams that they went and got OG Anunoby for. Now I'll tell you straight up, I'd like to have Hardenstein out there. You see what I'm saying? I'd love to have Hardenstein out there, but even if he doesn't play, I don't give a damn who's out there playing. Give me the Knicks plus 2.5. This is my top spot of the day. I think they cover this shit on the money line as well. I like that it was moving down to 1.5 last night. Squares wake up. Oh, Nuggets only land 1.5. Oh, let's take them. It was up to 2. It's back up to 2.5. I don't care. Like I say, if Hardenstein's out, it might even go up to 3.5. I don't care if we get Jericho Sims in there at the center. You can run OG Anunoby at the center. I like the Knicks to get this job done, my guys. Give me Knicks plus 2.5. I did bet that one. It is my top play of the day. A few more games here, Ronald. Let's go over to the streets of Brooklyn here. Another home dog. One that I don't know that I'm going to be sniffing. You see what I'm saying? Nets getting 3.5 at the house versus the Wolves. I don't know what to do with this game. Wolves are the much better team. They are on the back-to-back here. Nets have been trying to show that they're trying to break out of this funk. They've been showing signs, but I'm just not fucking with the Nets, Ronald. What are we doing here?
Yeah, I know the Wolves. They're kind of in a bad situational spot, right? Second leg of back-to-back games, third game in 4 nights. But they're actually 4-0 to the over in second leg of back-to-back games. So their defense tends to struggle, but their offense keeps going a little bit. Maybe they just, obviously the tired legs theory that we talk about, especially this season. If at least one of the teams are on the second leg of back-to-back games, they've actually been going over at a pretty decent rate. I know with the Nets here, we're not seeing a lot of defense from them. I know offensive rebounds is huge, points in the paint, and in second chance points and stuff like that. But maybe they take advantage of the Wolves, who are going to be probably a little bit tired on this one. Also, this is a situation where opponents are 7-3 to their team total over when the Wolves are on the road in non-conference games. So if they continue that stretch, this is a spot that I could probably look towards the over in. I know Conley is kind of upgraded to questionable. He hasn't played in a little bit. That could mess up the rhythm on their side. So if I was actually gonna play anything on this one, I would probably look towards the Nets team total over. In my opinion, I think that would be the way that I would look at it. Just because I'm not sure what I'm gonna get from the Wolves here. They've kind of been kind of the way they've been playing. It's kind of unpredictable. I mean, look what happened against the Hornets, and yesterday they should have bounced back, covered that 11, and just straight up shot a 3-pointer for no reason, and then gave an opportunity to the other squad to hit that three. So, in my opinion, they're kind of lackluster right now. The Wolves are, especially against the spread. So I would say look towards the total on the net side to maybe go over their team total.
Yeah, they definitely been playing lackluster, and it's just crazy because that line. When I always tell people shop for the best line, somebody told me that they didn't cover the Wolves by a half point. Was it ever at 11.5, Ronald? Because the highest thing I saw was 11.
So
it was at 11.
Yeah, I seen it at like 10.5 at night, went up to 11 and 11.5, then it came back down all the way down to 10. So when I gave it out to my clients, I gave it out at 11 because I had it in the morning.
Yeah.
And then when it came down to 10.5 and 10, I think most of the guys got that, but I pushed at the 11. So I was kind of pissed that and shot that three. It was kind of useless three, but it's all good.
Yeah, man. I always shop for the best line
Yeah.
as well, guys. Like if there's I always tell people if you're in a betting state, man, you should have as many books. Like you know how many books that I could go and try and bet through, man. It's probably like 20, 25 books. Obviously, I do this for a living and I have a lot of time to just look and search. But
Hmm.
before I place a bet, like you're never gonna see me just bet the worst line. You see what I'm saying? So I just wanted to say that to people. Like never just have all your money in one book. Now, obviously, if you're in a state that doesn't really that's not legal, it's a little harder when you betting with
Hmm.
underground bookies and shit. But if you're in a state that's legal, which more than half of them are now, I just suggest like have money in every little one. That way you can one of them might have a point 0.5 better line. I don't care if you're betting totals, sides, it could be props. And props is one of the main things where the juice is a lot of different places. So y'all know me.
Yeah.
I'm always, at least with every show, I'm trying to bring something, some sort of advice, something that can help you out. That's my advice today, man. Try to find the best line, no matter what you're betting. Every little, I don't care if it's minus 130 somewhere and minus 125 somewhere else. You want to maximize your
Hmm.
return on investment, my guys. But for this game, Wolves are the better team. Nets been playing like ass. I mean, it's pretty simple for me. See, I'm looking towards Wolves or I'm staying off the game. The Nets are just like kind of like in a down spin right now. I don't need to spend much more on this game. Nets have been close to breaking it out, so I'm not betting on them or betting against them. I'm just staying away from their games right now. I'll tell you that. Let's go over to the streets of Golden State, man. Warriors took care of business last night. They did. They absolutely smoked the Hawks in that game. It's crazy they didn't cover the first half, but covered the first quarter, covered the full game with ease. They came out there with heavy hearts. It's gonna be a little bit of different time for the Warriors right now. I think the Warriors might go on a little streak here, Ronald. I didn't bet this
Hmm.
game, but another home dog. We know that the Kings don't like these two teams don't like each other. I just don't think the Kings are the same team this year. Simply put, I don't think it's crazy. They got the same roster. They're not surprising anybody this year. What do you think happens with this game, Ronald?
Yeah, this one's a tough one too. Initially, I was leaning the Kings just because of the rest advantage, right? The Warriors on second leg of back-to-back games, and then the Kings with 2+ days of rest, and that's something that's been pretty profitable historically. I think it's like if I remember correctly, there's like a added parameter, but like since 2019, it's like 58% or whatever to the more rested team. But for me, I just don't like fading the Warriors as dogs. That's a situation that they tend to cover. But I don't know. Second leg of back-to-back games is tough for me to back the Warriors here, especially with how their roster is. Them coming back off of what 8 straight days of rest because of all the games being postponed, and the whole the mental aspect of losing one of their coaches and stuff like that. So obviously they had to win that game yesterday, for their coach and stuff like that. But for me, this might be a spot that the Kings could possibly cover, but they haven't been really doing that when opponents are on the second leg of back-to-back games. They haven't been able to take advantage of that so far this season. So I'm not sure they can do that against the Warriors, but it's just a lot of mixed signals for me. So I stayed off of this game overall.
Yeah, the Warriors didn't have to travel nowhere, man. They're in the same spot. And you remember, the Warriors actually broke off the rust last night. So before yesterday's game, what they didn't these months they were off for 8 days. Obviously, it had a couple like RP to the assistant coach. Once again, I said that yesterday. I'll say it again here today. They were off for 8 days. Obviously, a couple games got postponed. So this is a
Mhm.
back to back, but they actually got the Warriors might look even better tonight with them kicking off the rust last night. See what I'm saying? With them still grieving, with them still when you don't play an NBA game for 8 days, just trust me, the back to back don't fucking matter, man. Like the back to back, they might even have fresher legs tonight because they actually got to have their feet wet last
Yeah,
night. See what I'm saying?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but this Kings team is not. I'll tell you straight up. I don't think this Kings team is that good. I wouldn't be surprised if they fucked around and missed the playoffs. Now they probably still drop down to like the seventh AC. Like the Kings might be in the play-in tournament this year, my guys. I'll tell you that. Last year they were playing with their heads on fire. This year, some of these losses that they're having, I'm just telling you, just doesn't seem like the regular Kings. They lost to the Pacers with no Halliburton out there. They had a 5-game
Mhm.
road trip. They beat the Pistons. They beat the Hornets. Every other game, they basically got smacked up. And it's games like being up by 22 versus the Suns with 8 minutes left and losing. That's the shit that I'm talking about. Last year's Kings, that would have never happened to. So we know that they got beef versus the Warriors. They lost in game 7, but the Warriors have them their own these guys. They've won 6 of the
Mhm.
last 8 matchups versus the Kings as well. So honestly, I just think the Warriors are the better team here. It's not something that I bet, but honestly, right now with the wave that I think that the Warriors are about to be on, especially at the house, I wouldn't bet against them. As Warriors are nothing for me here. I think these home dogs gonna be barking tonight. I'll tell you that straight up, man. But let's go to the last game. The one game that's not a home dog here, Ronald. Lakers laying 5 at the house versus the Chicago Bulls here. What do you think happens in this game? Obviously, these two teams have like trade implications. They possibly, I don't know, Lakers trying to trade for every damn body, man. Nothing might not end up happening. But Lakers laying 4.5 here at the house. The Bulls, this is a revenge spot. They went to Chicago December 20th. They got smacked up by 16. They lost 124 to 108. The Bulls have beaten the Lakers 4 of the last 5 times here, Ronald. Do you think the Lakers can get some revenge tonight, or the Bulls just got too much defense for them?
Yeah, I was actually leaning towards the Bulls last night. I was looking at that plus 5.5. I didn't end up getting there last night, but when I woke up, I seen it at 4.5. So I was kind of pissed that I was, the market kind of agreed with me there. But some of the things that I looked at is just the whole rest advantage thing. When more rested than their opponent, the Bulls 6-2 ATS, and then the Lakers at home versus non-conference opponents. It seems like they don't really take those games pretty seriously. They're 1-6 ATS in that spot, and then when they're less rested than their opponent. They're actually struggling offensively. 3-8 ATS, 7-4 to the under. I know with Levine out, the Bulls really. I feel like they've been a lot better when Levine has not been in the lineup. He continues to be out here, so this might be a spot where the Bulls kind of use this another game to leverage their current squad and see Levine out. And then also as always, AD and LeBron are questionable. If they're in, it's probably going to move another half point or a point, or maybe just go back to the open at 5.5. So if you missed the number and you like the Bulls, just wait to see these guys in, and then you'll get your number back. So that's kind of the way that I'm looking here, is towards the Bulls. And like I said, I'm gonna wait till AD and LeBron are in, see if the line moves back to open, and take that.
Yeah, no, it's a fact. Yeah, the Lakers been playing like ass. I don't know. I'm not trusting either one of these teams, man. I know that the Lakers are better than what they show sometimes. Obviously, when they play with you with the injury report, like LeBron got upgraded to questionable, AD got downgraded to questionable. So LeBron was out last game, AD played. We'd be surprised if LeBron played in this one and AD didn't play. But you never know. Both of them can play. It's one of those, you got to wait until the last minute to bet the Lakers. Now, I'm not going to be talking like these teams that list these guys questionable every game. I'm not going to be talking about their ass, man. They don't even deserve to, man. So fuck both of these teams. But the Bulls have been playing better basketball, are in better form. But I know that the Lakers can match up with these guys. I wouldn't be surprised if they won by double digits. Like if Kobe White doesn't have a hot night, I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers smack these guys up, man. They have a deep team. They just don't always put it together. But they absolutely have started to figure out their lineups and shit. If they have everybody in there, I lean towards the Lakers here at the house, man. I wouldn't be surprised these home teams show out here tonight, Ronald. But let's get out of here, man. It's all love. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm sorry I was a little late to the show, man. I was getting some good rest that I needed. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to Ronald. He texted like, damn, you good, bro? I'm just like, bro, damn, what time is? I looked at it like, oh shit, it's 11:08, bro. Damn. But Ronald, what you liking on the show today, my brother? Whatever your top play, your lanes, whatever you like.
My top play, and I'm glad we're aligned on this one. But the Knicks team total, the Nuggets team total under. I know you like the spread there, but it's kind of a play off of that, just because I like the under and the Knicks there. So Nuggets team total under. I'm not too sure what the number is now, but I know 113.5 was what I got last night. So it's probably around 112.5 at this point with the total coming down. So yeah, that's going to be my best bet for today's show.
Yeah, I'm just want to see real quick because shit, I might ride with you on that motherfucker. So it looks like team total for the Nuggets was at 113.5. It's down to it's 111.5 at some spots, 112.5 at other spots. So once again, shop around. My advice to you guys: I don't care what you're betting, team total aside, whether it's money line, especially props, guys. How many times have you seen a prop and you go on BetMGM and you go on Caesars and there's like a 25-cent difference? One of them might be at minus 130, the other one might be at like minus 150, minus 160. See what I'm saying? So it just go check around. If you're in a legal betting state, I don't see why you wouldn't shop around. I don't care if you're going to the casino or betting on your phone. Shop around for the best numbers. number, man. That's my advice to you guys. In the long run, it's really going to make a difference, like as far as your return on investment. Why would you go and bet a minus 140 when you can get a minus 120? You see what I'm saying? If it's some on the money line, why would you bet plus 110 when you can get plus 115? It matters. Like you're losing out on money if you win. You see what I'm saying? So, and we're going to fucking win, man. But let's get this cash, man. It's all love. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, man. For me, Knicks plus 2.5, top spot of the day for me. But honorable mention, like right behind there. And like honestly, I might sprinkle on it just because I can do whatever the fuck I want. But one top spot for me, Knicks plus 2.5, and I also think it's worth a sprinkle on the money line. I think they win this game outright. Nuggets last game of a 5-game East Coast road trip, never really a buy spot. But honorable mentions, man. Pacers in the first half plus a 3. Pacers in the first Pacers full game plus the 5 as well, and then Heat first half and full game, man. I think I'm not lying. I think them shits go 5-0, and I would also lean towards the Wiz kids here, man. I'd also lean towards the Wizards here. Probably, maybe first half, especially because of back-to-back spot. But I still lean Wizards first half full game. Not as much as Pacers and Heat, but especially with them removing their head coach from the seat. We got 1,010 people watching here live. Man, hit the like button. We better get 1,000 likes on today's show, man. We on here giving out our info, see what I'm saying, giving our thoughts, sharing them for free to you guys. Knicks plus 2.5 top spot. Really close to taking Pacers first half plus 3, Pacers full game plus 5, Heat first half. What is Heat first half plus the 4, Heat full game plus 8? I believe the right sides, and I heavily lean towards Wizards in the first half and full game as well. Lean towards the Warriors and lean towards Lakers as well for me, man. It's all love. Please hit the like button. Let's get out of here. Let's try to get some cash today, man. It's all love. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Let's get 1,000 likes on today's show. I'll be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. It's all love. Hope everybody has a great day. Let's cash, baby. Let's go. Come on.
Peace.
We out.